Hi everyone. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Simone Leffler and I am the creator of Go Get Inspired By. And today it's a continuation of my freebie that I'm giving out for the launch of my site. I can't believe I launched my site. It was last Monday, so it's been 1 week and 1 day officially that my site has been launched. It's exciting. So I've put the links above for the freebie that I'm talking about today. It's called Expert Tips to Creative Writing. Today is tip number, oh, I made a typo there. It's tip number 4. Let me just check my notes. Yeah, it's tip number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry for the typo. So tip number 4 of 5 is writing clearly and concisely today. So I dedicated this video today to Anna Rodriguez. She's not here, so she'll have to catch me on replay. So hello, Anna, on replay. I know you will be watching eventually. So who is here today? We got Nicole and Wanda. Hey guys, thank you so much, and thank you, Nicole, for the typo correction. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know why I put 3, but it's number 4. All right. So yes, today is tip number 4, writing clearly and concisely. And again, this is a continuation of what I was talking about yesterday. Tip number 3 was storytelling is key. And so yesterday I was going into giving the details, using your senses to give the details in a nice way to your readers in any subject possible. So thinking about your where you are, your senses, what are you seeing, what do you smell, if you hear anything in particular, if you're sitting down, so where's your location, what are you touching and feeling, things like that. So today it's talking about how to give those details in a clear and a concise way. Now, Anna's request yesterday, she had asked me a question about, she was a major in journalism, I believe, and that she needed to write her things in a very short and simple way, and she wanted to know how to do that. So my tips are going to be surrounding her question and also the more general idea as well. So going directly into Anna's question, so how to write, clearly and concisely and simply. Well, my motto here always for writing and in other things in life is to keep it simple. In the English language, because I speak many languages, I speak English number 1, Spanish, Portuguese, and French. And in between English and French, you can say a lot of things in a very short and sweet way, so that's an advantage we have speaking English. And in French, it's kind of long. Just a second there. So in French, it's really long. It's kind of like a roundabout kind of way. And yesterday, I also mentioned in between American English and British English, we've got the advantage, I think, when it comes to speaking more clearly and simple and keeping it simple and to the point. So you can use those same ideas in your writing. Yes, Wanda, exactly. Keep it simple. Seriously, if you've got any kind of writer's block, any kind of problem that you're trying to solve, just keep in your mind, keep it simple. I use that a lot. Hi, Antonia, and hi, Lanisha, and hi, Darlene. Perfect. Yes, I'm so glad you guys can join. All right, so going into, like I said, Anna's question on how to keep it as clear and simple as possible. So your description, as I said yesterday, using your senses, how can you say that in the most simple way? How can you give that in like maybe 5 words or less? Yeah, you can challenge yourself with that. And depending on what your document is you're writing, you might have to stick to a specific word count, which I'm sure in journalism you have articles, so you have to really stick to what your limit is with word count. So I think in general, if you're writing a longer post, like a blog post or a longer article, if you want to give yourself a general idea, I believe it's 500 words is 1 page, double spaced, I believe. So that can be a limit for you if it has to be a 1-page summary. Tell me if I'm wrong, if it's 500 words for a page. So if you think of 250 words, that's half a page. And then you can do the math for the other, other numbers, other word counts. Okay, so I hope I answered Anna's question with keeping it simple. Keeping it simple, also complication free. Like if you write it and you read it and you can't understand it, then how are your readers going to understand what you're trying to say? So, and also reading your work out loud to yourself when you're done, especially if it is kind of a long sentence and you need to make that shorter, read it out loud. And when you're verbalizing it to yourself, I know that helps me. Verbalizing it, you can hear, oh no, something's wrong. No, I don't need that extra word. No, let's cut that out. No, I can say it in this different way. Let's do that. So talking to yourself, verbalizing, using, you know, reading it out loud, that always helps as well. Let's see, Darlene is asking, how do you feel about the Speak to Write app using to write books? That's a good question, and that was something that other people had recommended to me with digital tools, digital writing tools, and I have actually never used the Speak to Writing app, but I think that's a good idea. And I think if you do have a problem with like typing too fast and just overflowing your pages with too many words, using that can help, I think. Visualizing it while you're speaking it and seeing it on paper, I really like that. So thanks for that question, Darlene. That's a really good question. I think go for it. And plus it'll save your hands with typing and writing. You know, you can just give your hands a break and go ahead and just speak it out. I think that's a really good idea. Wanda says she does that. Yeah, keep doing it, Wanda. I need to try it. That's I need to try it before my next video tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know how I like it. Do you have any recommendations for me on a writing app that I could use, a Speak to Write app available? So I'll let Darlene or Wanda give me your suggestions for that. I'm really curious. I've been wanting to try it, definitely. Just never had the opportunity. I've always typed the stuff out. I type much faster than I write with a pen and pencil or a pen and paper. All right, so another idea to write clearly and concisely is also, as I said, keep it simple and don't give any additional fluff. Maybe you think that detail is important, but maybe it's really not going with the rest of what you're trying to, the point you're trying to make. So if it's not important, keep it out. If it's an extra sentence that, yeah, it's maybe important to you, maybe not important to your readers and not important to the subject, just take it out. You can use it somewhere else. Save it for later, copy and paste it for somewhere later where it's more important or more useful. Let's see, what else? Just looking at my notes really quick. Well, also, so I like to write blog posts a lot, and so I always put pictures with my description of stories, experiences, things like that to give a visual. And I do put a little caption underneath those pictures just to give an idea of where I am, what I'm doing. And I keep those really short and simple because they can find the rest of the details in the article, which will help them to, or make them read why I have that picture there. So you can keep your descriptions underneath your picture short and sweet as well. concisely and clearly. Let's see. Lanisha says, Google Doc allows you to do that. Oh, for the voice to speech to word, speech. I can't say it. Speak to writing app. Is that what you call it? I don't know the technical word for that. So I'll try that in Google Docs. And Darlene said, I just finished my first book, and someone told me about Speak to Write, so I have not used one as of yet. Okay. All right. Well, that's still a great idea. So thank you for bringing that up, Darlene. Thank you very much. My blog address, it is in the description above. It's gogetinspiredby.com. I also have the link for my freebie there as well. The expert tips to creative writing. This is what I'm talking about here. I'm expanding on the, it's called the mini guide. So I'm expanding on my mini guide that I have there. Text to type. Okay, I will definitely be looking that up. Perfect. All right. That's good. I'm learning a lot of things from you guys as well. So thank you. All right. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes. I was trying to think of what I can give as an example. Keep it simple. Oh, okay. So here's a challenge for you guys. Oh, and a challenge for me too. So ask me to say something in French. I would ask you to say something in Spanish and Portuguese, but I speak French more than I do the other two languages right now. So ask me to say something in French. Anything. Well, easy enough for me to quickly translate, please. So I'll wait for your replies there. So ask me to say something in French. Wanda says, I used a speak translate software for Windows. Okay, so they even have software for that. Perfect. All right, I need to look into that. Definitely. All right, and I know, I think it was Shane that recommended to record your voice. So even if you don't have that speech to type application, you can still, I think, use some kind of voice recording app out there as well. I mean, it records your voice but doesn't translate it to text, but at least that's something you can do to take notes when you're not by your computer. Darlene says, say it's a beautiful day. All right, so c'est un, how do you say that? C'est une journée très belle. C'est une journée très belle. Or c'est un, oh, because you have different ways to say it. C'est une bonne journée. C'est un bon jour aujourd'hui. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I asked you to ask me how to say something in French because I'm trying to see if I'm trying to make a comparison between if it really is easier to say something in the English language than it is with other languages. So it's a beautiful day. I think in French it's a little bit shorter because it's c'est une bonne journée. So it's 4 words, so it's the same. Well, in English it's 5 with it is a beautiful day. Ask me something else. Ask me something else. Because I'm trying to see if the, I guess I'm thinking about, because I did a lot of teaching this morning, and I was helping my students to say things, and they were asking me to translate things for them from French to English, and I always give them the easiest way to say it. Not necessarily that it's like dumb down the language, it's just the simple, clear, and effective way to say it. And I'm wanting to give you an example to show like how you can also try and think of it in English. Erica asks, say you have a lovely smile. Oh gosh. Is that a compliment? I'll take it. You have a lovely smile is, give me a second because I have to switch in my brain. Tu as un sourire très belle. Tu as un sourire très belle. 6 words. 6 words there. And so you have a lovely smile, so 5 words. And then Wanda says, say nice to meet you. You know, that's really, really short in French. It's one word, enchanté. You guys might know that word, enchanté. Nice to meet you. There's another way, but I don't use it. I keep it simple in French. It's already complicated enough as a language. So, enchanté. All right, so I just wanted to give a comparison with keeping it short and sweet in different languages. The only example I could think of was saying I agree. So in English, I agree is 2 words. In French, it's 3 words. Je suis d'accord. Je suis d'accord, 3 words. But je is 1 word. I, suis is the second word. And then d'accord, it's actually 2 words in one. I think it's a preposition de and then accord, which means agree. So they have lots of apostrophes and contractions and things like that in French. So that's the only thing I could think of. Lenisha asked, I meant talk to Simon. It's okay. Well, today I really wanted to give lots of good examples, and my brain, I don't know, it's too much French translation and stimulation to my brain going on today that, like, what time is it right now? It's 7:50 at night. Hi, everyone. Oh, it's about time to to end the day. So going back to my notes, I'm gonna end it shortly here. So writing clearly and concisely, the motto is keep it simple, get to the point. You can still give a really good description with few words. And it just made me think of when I lived in London. So I lived in London for 2 years, a few years ago. And I was doing a class to teach TESOL. So it was my first certificate to teach English to speakers of other languages. And we had 2 British guys in there. And one British guy, he was from Oxford, I think, or he went to Oxford University. So he had quite the vocabulary, you know, everything that he said was just, you know, like hearing syrup falling from, you know, the container. It was beautiful to hear, especially with the British accent and all that. But we were in a class for 4 weeks, and it was it was like from 8:30 or 9, I forget, until 5 or 6 at night. It was very intense, and we had to do lots of different work and practice and things like that. And I just remember I got to a point where, yeah, his voice did not sound like syrup anymore because he kept saying so much when he could have really condensed that down into 10 words or less. And one day, I don't know, I hope I didn't offend him, but I did say, you know, in American English, you could say it like this, and you'd be done. And he's like, oh, okay. And I really wish I remember what he said, but it was just a, you know, long-winded, you know, extravagant way of saying, you know, for example, like, I really like this lesson. I don't know. So using lots of adjectives and, you know, adverbs and things like that. But when it comes to keeping your text condensed enough, you have to keep it simple, short and sweet. And as I said before, writing it or speaking it out, reading it out loud, it really helps to make the connection of, okay, number 1, is it short enough? And number 2, does it make sense? If it's not clear, you have to erase it, restart again, keeping it as clear, complication-free, no additional fluff, as clear as possible. Let me just looking at my notes here. Also, you know, in my freebie is kind of a listed document. So if you're doing something like that, a list, keep your titles, you know, short and sweet, but bolded. And so people can get, okay, maybe I don't want to read number 1 and 2, but I want to go down to number 3. So keeping a short title in between each of your different points or tips. That's also a good idea as well, to keep it separated, and so that people can skim and scan your text and your articles so that they can find what they want as soon as they can. All right, so I'm going to end it there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope I was helpful. I hope I got my idea across about keeping it clear and concisely. And you know what? Maybe I should have kept this video shorter so that I could have kept it concise and clear. So thank you so much for joining. Please leave your comments, questions below. I think I answered everyone's question today. So thank you so much, everyone, for attending, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Check back in. Tomorrow is number 5. All right. Thank you. Bye.